Hello, all you Smoky Roomers. Yes, it's been a little while since I've done one of these. The allergies here in New Jersey are. It's got to be the worst place on this planet. Actually, my doctor did tell me that we live in one of the worst places for allergies in the country, and he attributed a lot of that to North Jersey. Like, we're gonna just blame it on North Jersey with all the whatever they got out there, chemical plants and every damn thing else, and then we got swampland around here, and just it's not a good thing. It really isn't. It makes me want to cry, and then I become sad. As you can hear, I'm even having trouble talking here. I'm having trouble talking here. What's the matter with you? Ooh, speaking of what's the matter with you, I made roasted peppers yesterday. Those roasted peppers, forget about it. Okay, so welcome to the Smoky Room. Glad you're here. Yeah, this is a roller coaster ride of a presidency so far, isn't it? I mean, it's amazing what this guy has done. Um, for a while there, the world was on pins and needles, needles and pins. A happy man is a man that grins. Yeah, for a couple of days there, it looked like everything was going to fall apart, and that Mr. Trump was really screwing up. And then all of a sudden, what happens? Yesterday? Huh? Anybody? Anybody? A historic stock market day. The highest since 2008. Um, Today, he mentioned that we're bringing in so far about two billion with a B dollars a day in tariff revenue. So anyway, I mentioned this to my wife last night that I sat and pondered the whole thing, and in a way, it's kind of like the Hegelian dialectic, where you cause the problem and then you come in with the fix. I mean, think about it. I mean, the way this guy has run his company or companies, he did a bang up job, right? I mean, everybody knows that he did a bang up job, and he set the stage for this whole event. Um, he created the issue by just putting tariffs on everybody, and then he let it simmer. He let it simmer, a slow simmer. There, we're gonna make a beautiful sauce at the end. Okay, it's kind of like a wine reduction, and we're gonna make a beautiful sauce to go over that beautiful steak, guaranteed. Watch, and that's exactly what he did. Once, I mean, he knew what the reaction was gonna be. He knew that everybody and their mother were going to start bitching about it, right? And then all of a sudden, hey, you know what? Let me just put a 90-day halt on that. And in the meantime, we're going to double. We're going to double the tariffs on China. I think you got Xi Jinping or whatever. Wait a minute. Wait, what? How come they can do it and I can't? But yeah, it's a wonderful thing. And here's the other side to that. Here's really why. Plus, I mean, I haven't done one of these in a little while, but I just got off the horn with my Congress person, Mr. Donald Norcross. I'm sure you've heard me speak of him very highly. I speak of that guy. He's extraordinary. He is such a great congressman All he's got to do is show up. Just walk into his office and everything is fine with this guy. You see. So, I call them up. I tell them who I am, right? I say, look, I'm trying to get some content for my show here. And, I add a little levity, as I always do, because I think levity is a good thing, especially nowadays when everybody is completely losing their minds. We have been, actually, since 9/11. Okay? That's 25 years of losing our mind. Boy, does it show on me. Oh, by the way, you're a drummer when? Great shirt. It's got a whole list. Let me show you. It's got a list of things. And actually, let me see. Mine is, you're a drummer when, there we go, when you load $3,000 worth of equipment in I'm getting all screwed up here, in a $1,000 car and drive 200 miles to make $50. Okay? That's what we do. Why? Because we are musicians and we're somewhat mentally disturbed. Anyway, so I call up my congressman. I say, look, I'm grabbing, I want to grab some content for the Smoky Room, which I'm sure you're a loyal fan of. And they're just two very simple questions, which I think if I'm the guy that, works for the group of folks that say they control our purse strings, these would be, I want to answer this question. I said, the first question I got for you is, how does the congressman feel? We're talking feelings here now. How does the congressman feel about how Doge is finding all of this tax revenue that has been misappropriated? It has been lost. It has been stolen. Some people spent it all on candy. How does he feel about that? I would think, I haven't told the guy, I would think this is a no-brainer. He should be happy as hell, right? You would think. I mean, you're representing the taxpayer. You work for the group of people that control the purse strings, which means that when you give them your hard-earned tax dollars, you're thinking that the people responsible for making appropriations and all that are going to be very, very responsible with that. Wouldn't you think? You would think, right? I mean, it's kind of like if you go buy a car, you want to know whether or not there's a motor under the hood. Don't you? I mean, so in this case, you want to know whether or not the guy you're giving this responsibility to really gives a damn about it. Obviously, he don't. Because I got a non-answer. Well, the congressman, are you kidding me? Okay. The next question, I said, has the congressman made any statement concerning Ukraine with Mr. Zelensky not being able to give an answer on how all that money we gave him was spent? Well, I know he's giving it some thought, but blah, 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 blah. And I said, look, okay, enough here. You have yourself a splendid afternoon. And that was the time I spent with Mr. Norcross today. Just like any other day. You call there, you don't get any answers. And he even don't email me anymore. There was a time years ago when he would at least answer an email now and then. But now I think he's got a picture of me on his wall and he throws darts at it. So, that evil bastard, Smoky Room. So, yes. So, we are going through something here. You know, we are seeing a lot of things going down across the world. We are seeing a president that is doing a pretty decent job now, but you still got to keep your eye on those Republican senators, especially those 9. Did you know that when they tried to appropriate some money to Israel for a certain kind of bomb, there were 9 Republican senators that said nay. They said no. Nah, we don't want to do that. So we still got dissenting Republicans. You know it and I know it. I mean, you know, Capitol Hill's just like a bucket of maggots, really. I mean, they're just, you know. So I don't trust any of them, and I don't think you should either. Yeah, you can say, yeah, Fred Schwartz is doing a really bang-up job, but I'll tell you what, I don't trust that. So, keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Also, keep your eyes on the Middle East. Okay? Keep your eyes on the Middle East. You know it, and I know it, that something big is going to go down there. Trying to figure out what Iran is going to do. Well, you know, I mean, looking back on it, I don't think it's too difficult to figure out. I mean, we know that they want to obliterate Israel. They just want to turn it into dust. But they got to waste some time here. I think they're still reading the directions on how to put the nuclear bomb together. You know, Habib and Jamal. Anyway, so that's what they're doing. Now, with all this being said and everything like that, the Lord is coming back. And, you know, Jerusalem is the time clock, and everything, for instance, in Matthew 24, I don't remember the verse exactly, but when the apostles are speaking to Christ about, you know, when are you going to be coming back, and pretty much when's the world going to end, he talks about that. And my gosh, boy, are we there. We are there. I'm not saying this to scare you, but I mean, I see it as a wonderful thing. I've had about enough of planet Earth. I'm ready to go home. I kid you not. Now, people are going to look at this and they're going to say, this guy is crazy. Keep your eye on him. He's going to blow his brains out. No, I am not. I am not going to blow my brains out. And if you're thinking that, then you're a poopy face. So, anyway, with that being said, yeah, keep your eye on this guy. Get in your word. get in the Bible, get right with God. Wait a minute. Smokey Room guy. What exactly does that mean? Getting right with God. Does that mean something like I gotta make friends with him or something? Like what? I don't understand. Well, I had a altar call, if you want to call it that here. Oh, I don't know how many months ago that was. But you got to get your heart right with Christ. That's pretty much it, really. And it, I don't think it is as easy as it sounds. I mean, for me, it took a lot. I mean, I had to hit bottom. Oof, boy, it was brutal. But, I'm a knucklehead, and I always learned lessons the hard way. So God said, well, don't worry about it. This guy's a knucklehead, and he's going to learn this lesson the hard way. But some of you may just think that, it may not be that bad for you. It may be that you're ready, your heart is ready, and you decided that you want to be born again. And you know exactly what that means. And you know that repentance is the number one thing involved in that. Okay? And you understand original sin. You understand that. You really understand that. And you're ready to give your heart over to the Lord. So, if that's the case, then I urge you, please do that. I mean, really, only God knows how much time we have left. But according to everything, my buddy and I have been doing a Bible study now, but the way my allergies have been here in sunny downtown Haddon Heights, the vacation capital of the world, it hasn't been very... It just... I can't go. I'm not going to... Yeah. I'm just staying inside and medicating myself somewhat with allergy meds. So, that's pretty much our show today, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I'm not doing any real long shows any longer. I don't think it's really all that necessary. I just like to throw out, pretty much reminders. And, to give you an idea that there are people like me in this world. Yeah, there's a joke in that, but don't make fun of me because then I'll cry. And, you may have been thinking all along, am I alone? Am I the only one that thinks like this? Your wife thinks you're insane, and, but, we gotta keep abreast of what's going on. We can't listen to mainstream media because they are the ministry of propaganda. Okay, they are like the Joseph Goebbels of the Nazi Party. Okay. They get their walking papers from God knows who, and they reinforce everything that the Democrat Party wants to accomplish. Okay? That's pretty much so. And I'm talking Fox also, ladies and gentlemen. Believe me, they are not your friend. They do not have your interest at heart. And they're not. I mean, how many times? I say, you know what? Just let me watch what they got to say about this. And it's like, yeah, Chet, I'm glad you're there, and we've got that breaking news. But can I get your reaction on blah 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 blah? She didn't just really ask him that, did she? And we're watching that, and we're supposed to think, ooh, let me get his reaction. Because his reaction is going to be the right reaction. Ooh, I'm telling you, that guy's got one hell of a reaction. So that's what news is nowadays. Okay? Um, I just constantly go through YouTube and other sources and gather my news and do my own study. And I got books like you wouldn't believe. You know, lately, for whatever reason, I'm a Vietnam era vet. Didn't go to Vietnam. Didn't want to go to Vietnam. Because if I went to Vietnam, the kind of knucklehead I am, I wouldn't be here, more than likely. But I've been doing my own reading about whom our main enemy was. This guy and I have a whole lot in common. He was a chef. Ho Chi Minh was a chef. Not only was he a chef, he trained with Escoffier, which Mr. Escoffier was like the premier chef in the world. Probably still to this day in history. It's an amazing read. You learn an awful lot about. I mean, if you care, but you learn an awful lot about why 58,000 American kids died for nothing. The hippies were right. You know, the hippies were right. Now, when you're wearing the green uniform, though, your mind is, and plus you're young, you've already been indoctrinated in boot camp about Charlie Kong and killing and this and that. You just want to get even now, you know? That's the feeling you got. And then Saigon fell. And we're like, wait a minute. Did we just lose this war? And the feeling we had on the base. I was at Fort Carson, Colorado. It was kind of like despair. It was sadness. It was kind of like, just get me the hell out of here. Let me go home. Never forget one day, I where I was working at, a few buildings down, I seen a bunch of guys that had just gotten back from Vietnam. And obviously they were going home. They were in their civvies. They were ETSing out of there. But each of them had a bundle of uniforms, and they threw them in a ditch, doused them in gasoline, and set them on fire. Stood there, I don't know, maybe half a minute, and then just walked away. That was the feeling. And when you look at the reasons, the screwed up reasons, and when you do your own study and you remember what Eisenhower said on his farewell address, beware the military-industrial complex. Eisenhower, a president, said that on TV. Is it sinking in? That's why these shows exist. People like me. Okay, we don't want you being played anymore. And American citizens have been played for a very, very, very long time. Lee Harvey Oswald. Oh, he killed Kennedy. Oh, yeah. He was less than an average shot in the Marine Corps. Less than average. And he made those shots in record time that experts cannot duplicate? 9/11. Come on, folks. 9/11. I mean, I was holding my son when all this was going down because I was starting to panic. And even in the panic, I've got Anthony in my arms and I'm like watching this on TV. And the buildings just, they came straight down because I'm thinking they're going to go, yeah, right? Like a tree. Weak spot here where the plane hit, you would think. And I remember that struck me as, wait a minute. You see, I worked construction. I was a welder. I was certified in structural steel and all that good stuff. But then I became a lot of different things. I was a printer. I was a welder. Sold suits. But I got a background in structural steel, and I'm thinking, no, that's not how that works. And then Building 7, whoop, under 7 seconds, whoop, look it up. Building 7, it's not hard to find. Look at it, and you tell me. So anyway, my wife is going to be walking in here with groceries pretty soon. It is 5 minutes after 3, and I still haven't eaten anything yet today. So I am going to do that. And all you ladies and gentlemen that watch this, God bless you. Get right with God. We're in the last days, okay? Take care of yourself. Okay. Here we go.